boys and girls, Brad the Guitologist here. In today's video, we're going to check out what happened the final day of my trip to Dallas recently, where I walked around this guitar festival desperately looking for something to trade for. I'm basically at this point stuck with this brand new in the box 2022 Gibson Les Paul Standard. A really nice guitar, but I really did not come to this show to go home with a Les Paul Standard. If I go home with it, it's not a total loss, but I would like to possibly get into something vintage, something cool, something I could show on the channel, entertain you guys with. That's not necessarily a brand new Les Paul, which, I mean, frankly, is about as boring as...
Hello, and welcome to Mac Academy. My name is Randy Smith, and over the next couple of hours, we'll be discussing Microsoft Word.
We're going to find something, hopefully, in this show before we go home that we could trade this Les Paul for. That would be cool. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, stick around. Also, we're going to take a look at some of these prices. Now, in these last couple of videos that I've done on this show, I've done 3 so far. There's been a lot of comments about how high the prices are on the stickers and all this kind of stuff. And I've said in the past, the sticker price on guitars at shows like this are really just a place to start a negotiation, right? And you got to reckon, you know, you can probably get most of this stuff for cheaper than they're asking. So there are deals to be had at this show. You just really have to get down on the level and just look and pick through the stuff. That said, yes, I do believe that the economy is such that this is definitely a buyer's market. This is not a good market to be trying to sell things for high prices. The prices on things are going down. People do have a lot less disposable income to spend on things like guitars, particularly when most guitarists now, that I know at least, already have 10, 12, 15, 20 guitars in closets all around their house. So, you know, I think everybody is kind of in the same state right now. We're kind of watching and seeing how things play out. The economy is not great. The housing market's not great. The automobile market's not great. The energy market's not great. You know, we're spending a lot more money in places that we did not want to spend more money, like on food when we go to the grocery store. You know, so I think that's affecting the overall guitar market as well. You know, people are just, they're holding on to their cash at the moment because everybody's kind of scared of what's to come. That can actually be good for us because we're looking for something that we can bring home. So stick around, we'll see what we bring home. Okay, so we're going to pick up things where we left off a couple of videos ago here in the bass section of the Jimmy Wallace booth. And right off the bat, we see a couple of really nice jazz basses here, a couple 70s ones. There's a 77 Black. And I stopped to look at this one for a minute because I have one exactly like it. I've been doing some work on it, and yeah, they want $3,000 almost for this one. And mine's in better condition, really, on the... And mine also has the covers for the pickups too. It's another 52 P bass right there. Has some nice stuff. I'm not sure what those 3 pickup basses were there, but they looked cool. There's a 79 P bass for 35. In natural. That's a nice looking jazz bass right there. That's 72. Another older P bass, and then we get into the Music Man stuff, and here is another Alembic. So this is, I don't know if this makes the 4th or 5th Alembic bass that we've seen at this show, and all of them have been in this kind of $12,000 to $14,000 range, I believe. There's another EBO Gibson bass there. And now over to some more affordable Strats over here. We're, what is that one? A Hayakawa? I don't know how you say that necessarily, but it's a nice looking Strat. I like that 2 pickup Guild there, and there's a couple of Strat Pluses. That one for about $1,900. I forget what they call that fade on that. But yeah, 1900 is about twice what I was given for those Strat Pluses around a decade ago. Some of you guys were asking where all the Parkers were. Well, there's one of them. I've actually seen several Parkers. I mean, I looked back through some of the videos, and I did see, I don't know, 4 or 5 Parkers. Here's a 95 Strat Plus. They're a little bit more down to earth on that one, but still, like I said, you know, quite a bit higher than what I'm used to paying for those.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
To be fair, though, I haven't bought one in quite a while, so. But you do still see them, you know, on the secondhand market here and there. You can pick them up on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. If you look hard enough, they do pop up. They want $12,000 for that Strat right there. Is that what that was? Yeah, $12,500 for a Texas Special set Strat. I'm not sure what makes that one so special, but here's a 60 Bassman for $9K. Here's a 59 Bassman for $12,900, and that's, you know, pretty much the holy grail of tube amplifiers right there. A lot of people consider it. Looks like it's got the original Jensen speakers in it. And from what I can tell, it looks pretty legit, except for that back door. It looks like they lost the back door, perhaps, and somebody made that one for it. Either that or that's with the tweed peeled off of it. I thought this was kind of interesting here, this RCA tube box. I tried to buy it off the guy. I think he was asking like $100 or $150 for it, and I was like, that's more than I want. I'm only interested in the box. There wasn't much in it in the way of tubes. It was empty. Yeah, that was Ken from Reverend Guitars. And speaking of Reverend Guitars, here are the Reverend Guitars. He was jamming with Greg Koch. Last year, they took me out to dinner. This is Penny, his wife, and they took me out to dinner, and I got to have dinner with Greg Koch and his son and stuff, and have some cool conversations and stuff with them. Had a good time. Yeah, they were showing me some of the new guitars that they had, and this is one of their newer models. I forget whose signature that is, but it's some newer band. All the kids would know, I'm sure. But man, you know what I respect and like about these guitars is that they're kind of doing their own thing, and they have a lot of, you know, different finishes to choose from, not just the standard stuff, you know, that you always see in every other guitar manufacturer. You know, they've just got some different colors and things and different pickup configurations and stuff like that. They did design their own pickups.
His name is Kim Leland Schwartz, and he makes custom, typically nylon string guitars in New Mexico. But this was a one-off. He made a fretless bass. It's just gorgeous. It sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I thought this was kind of interesting, a fretless bass, but it kind of looks like one of those Mexican, what do they call it, a sesto or something like that? It has that look about it because of that X in the sound hole and the thickness of the body too, the depth of it.
Snares over here.
Nice stash, man. But yeah, somebody went Vistalite crazy here with these Ludwigs. These are really cool. Nice set. Double bass, Vistalite orange. How sweet is that? Now tell me, you drummers, tell me you would not rock this kit. You know, you'd feel like $1 million doing it too. Jim Marshall signed Marshall cab there. Interesting. What's that basketball player, dude, on the head of that one kit there? It was a nice kit too. Very cool. Lots of nice Marshall stacks here in this booth. This booth was all the way against the back wall, and it's back where the you know, all the records and stuff, where it's kind of by all that stuff. There's more clear Vistalite type kits there. That one's not a Ludwig though, I don't think. No. They also had a Sound City amp sitting up there. For you guys that don't know, the same guy that did High Watts did Sound Cities. They're very well made, very nicely wired, but they don't really sound all that great. So you usually have to do mods and stuff to a Sound City when you find one. Never seen one of these before. What is this, a West Laboratories Grande? Not sure what's up with that one. That's a new one on me. There's another Vistalite bass drum down there. That one's in clear. This is kind of the benefit of having this extension on my camera. I can get up high and see the tops of things. I'm trying to look behind it even. I'm not able to see what I'm filming here. I'm just hoping that I'm capturing something. I'm trying to get some kind of information about this amp. A couple of what look like Les Pauls right there, but I'm really not sure if they are or not, because I think at least a couple of those are what, maybe Bernie's or something. But then here in just a second, I run across a couple of actual Gibsons. I was shocked as well. I didn't think I would see any Gibsons at this show, but that right there is a Gibson, and they don't even have it labeled as such. They just have it sat in the case, and they had a price on it. But see what I mean? This is straight up Gibson. You can see by that binding, the way that it transitions into the headstock. I mean, that's every bit of it's wrong. See, nothing on there about it being a Gibson, just $800. And some poor schlop might come along and mistake that for a real Gibson and say, oh, you know, there wouldn't possibly be a Gibson at this show, but here are two of them. There's another one right there. Gibson all day long. That's like a, it's like a Jimmy Page knockoff, but again, not labeled as a Gibson. I do like all of the old concert shirts they've got hanging up there. And if you saw that one that was all torn to shreds, it was a Slayer one, but that's the state of those, the trade on those concert shirts, the old ones, man. Even ones with holes and stuff in them that are all, you know, just almost threads, they bring money. Here's a couple of the more decent deals I found at the show on amps. I mean, a 68 Bassman and a 68 Dual Showman for $1,000 is not bad. I mean, that's doable for somebody. And then this Peavey right here for $700. And then this I saw, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, now we're talking 78 Marshall 2104 JMP for $2K. And as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I wonder if this guy would be in for a trade for my Les Paul. Because this is exactly the kind of thing that we could, you know, look at on the channel and do a service on and do a demo and all that. It would be really fun.
Are these both original speakers? Because I think codes.
I think this one might have been replaced at some point, or maybe the sticker peeled. I don't know.
Right.
They're both black backs.
I think you're right. That because this sticker is underneath that sticker. That's an original. That's an original speaker. The codes. Look. It might be might be. I believe that's what's happened. See there?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
See?
Yeah.
Or is it? No, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. What's your name, man?
I'm Jeff.
Jeff. Hey, Jeff. All right, so I was talking to Jeff. I was going to trade that. I'm trying to talk Jeff into trading on this, okay? So this 78 JMP 2104, nice amp. But these right here, I mean, he's got these priced pretty well, I would say, for the current market. I mean, for as clean as they are, and particularly for this Dual Showman. And I was looking at the back, and he was like, "Yeah, man, they still got the RCA black plates in there." So I mean, for that's a steal, isn't it?
Yeah, right, yeah. You
What's
would think
wrong
somebody bought it already, right?
What the hell's the matter with people? I mean, buy this.
I know, right?
If I were you, I'd turn that shit right out here like this. Just put it kind of right in the way. If anybody wants to come in the booth, they have to walk right back.
Yeah, have to walk around,
Yeah. I was always intrigued by those E2s also. What are those P90s out of? With
like
the Gibson
a 72 Les Paul, maybe?
Okay, yeah.
72 is the only year they were embossed.
Right. That would be a take the pickups out, sell them separately. You know, hunt down the real ones.
For sure, yeah.
Try to restore the Mustang as much as possible, and then do the flip thing.
That's one of the other guy in my booth. That's one of his guitars.
Yeah, well, that's what he ought to do with that one. Yank those pickups out, sell them separately, as I said. Oh, you've got a Mark Series.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Yeah, you don't see these too often. This one's the 53, so it's the next to the top level.
Yeah, these 70s Gibsons Mark Series are pretty rare. That's an MK53. I had the higher model on that at one point and made a video. I'll put it up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen if you want to see that. So I did try to trade him my Les Paul for that Marshall, and he was a no on that. And then I saw this one and got to talking to the dealer on it. This is the Gibson GA-20T Ranger. Well, this is before they named it the Ranger, but this is essentially the same as a Ranger. And it's probably, what, a 56, 57, something like that on this one. And this is the same amp that is in my friend Steve's studio that we all pretty much fawn over every time that we're over there. And got the bright idea to offer a trade to this dealer, too, for this thing. It's really in pretty good shape. Original speaker is intact. Yeah, man, good specimen, and this would be a great trade for me, you know, considering I'm more of a vintage amp channel than a brand new, you know, Gibson Les Paul channel anyway.
Okay, so I'm currently trying to possibly work out a deal, a trade with this.
This dealer pondered over the trade for a little bit and even called another guy over to take a look at things, and he came back and said basically he would need the Les Paul and $500, which I wasn't willing to do. So that's strike number 2.
Channel. It has got a grounded cord on. It's been serviced, you know.
Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at this.
All right, let's burn it.
It's terrible.
Oh my God, it's the worst. Let's paint it black.
So somebody has been through it.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know Samatone amps?
Who's that?
Jimmy Soma at Samatone.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, he's in Austin, Texas. He's
Okay.
he's a gentleman that serviced it. It is missing the handle. So.
This thing is clean.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do have internal pictures of it too if you wanted to see those.
Very cool. Yeah, these will only go up in value, I think.
Serviced by Jimmy as well. A lot rougher, but
Wow, 4 8-inch speakers.
yeah. It's a smoking sound little amp. It's kind of fun. It sounds cool,
Yeah.
but
Made for accordion, right? Yeah.
what's that?
Made for accordion. These were.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah, it actually says on the front.
Yeah. Oh
Accordion
yeah.
amplifier. I've got another one of these with the logo's gone. I've got another one just like it that the logo's been gone.
Right.
It's gone off of it.
And that's a clean gretsch too.
We bought this as a set with that guitar. It's got the crazy 6x9 with the tweeter.
Yep.
We didn't know how long it's been powered up, so we actually variacted it up to confirm it. Check that stuff. It sounds great.
Yeah, it should. It's a gretsch. There's a guy who collects gretsch if you want to unload it.
And it doesn't feed back on stage. So the performer has total confidence to be able to perform their sound checks, do their performances without having feedback. It's a string through design. You put your string through it, pull it, you lock it, you're done. That's how fast you change your strings. It's magnetic. Your sound ports expel the energy of the guitar, so that's why they're totally acoustic, so you can play unplugged. This is really loud, but you can...
Yeah.
So you have your built-in tuner. You can check your tuning before you take stage. You have your phase switch. You don't have to bother the soundman anymore if you're out of phase. You got your EQ. If you're a worship leader and you got to learn 4 or 5 songs by next Sunday, plug in your MP3 player, plug in your headphones, and you can practice along. All of my guitars have a 0 fret, so it's very easy to play. You don't have to squeeze to play open chords. So if you have carpal tunnel syndrome or you have arthritis, you can play my guitars without any pain. And then they're perfectly balanced. So you don't have your pinkies on the last fret, and you don't have that square peg in the back.
Yeah.
You can just ride straight up, and you're right at the last fret. And they just have a beautiful acoustic tone.
Very cool. So New Sound Acoustics is the name of your brand?
Yeah, we're a brand new American guitar company based out of Lakeland, Florida. And
what does something like this go for?
Yeah, well, with the Koa top, the bird's eye maple, it's got a beautiful flame maple neck. This one would run somewhere around the 37 range. The entry model is 2400, and then they go up from there.
What's an example of an entry model?
Yeah, so the entry model would be it'll be something like this. It'll be no binding. We round off the edges, and it'll have that really nice, kind of like the 100-year-old whiskey barrel kind of look, where it's kind of distressed and it's a matte finish, and it'll have something like a rosewood fretboard. So to kind of look like that, that would be an entry model. Okay. Then we offer the tattoo model. And then the White Hawk, which is these Teles type style looking guitars.
Yeah, see, you're doing the Kasha bridges kind of thing here.
Yeah, I think it fits well with the motif of the guitar.
Yeah. This is interesting.
Yeah.
What inspired that?
They love that bridge. That's something I came up. My name's Noel, so I created an N. But the split bridge is nice because it's bridge pinless. It's a through body design, and this is a petrified piece of wood for the saddle. Wow. Yeah, and the artwork was done by Jack Chase. It's the Good Samaritan. He's bandaging his head, and this is the gardenier. But we can do any artwork that you need. You want butterflies, unicorns, your name, we can abalone, mother of pearl, checker flags, racing stripes, we can do everything. So I have a discount for worship leaders. I'm a believer, so I help my brothers and sisters in Christ out. Or if you play for cancer patients like at Moffitt, and you have, if you have proof of service, then what we do, my company gives you an automatic 11% off on your guitar sale. We give you a free stage 3 carry case with it, and we also give you a free set of lock straps, and we do that, and we give you the 11% off is for doing something positive for your community, and I wanted to bless those who are blessing their community. So we kind of do that for worship leaders. We know that a lot of them maybe don't make a lot of money, so we try to lower the cost of the guitars. The other cool thing that we do is as we're building their guitars, we actually pray for that guitar, pray for that worship leader, and then we have a separate anointing oil that we kind of mix in when we're oiling the necks and oiling the bridges. So when those guitars go out, they're prayed over, they're blessed. So when they're playing for their community, man, that anointing is just going out to the crowd, and they can feel that anointing as they play.
That's beautiful,
so that's
man.
what we're all about.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. What was your name again?
Noel. I'm
Noel.
the owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
4-pound studio guitar.
And it's
It's a studio guitar, happens to be travel friendly. You know, a headless guitar with a head on it.
Yeah, that you can actually hang.
Actually hang it without a special hanger.
Right.
And the pickups are kind of easy to deal with also.
Okay, yeah. You've got my attention. That's cool.
Aluminum bodies, 1/8 inch thick. It's cut out of with a 5-axis CNC.
May I?
Oh, you bet.
2 pounds?
4 pounds.
4 pounds, excuse me.
The switches get reconfigured depending on what you're putting in.
Wow.
So singles, the mid position here would be a half out of phase. This is a normal single, normal single, normal single. So you can't do that on a Strat really, put all 3 pickups on. That's more of a Teles with a S1 switch.
Sure.
With a bridge in the neck. But now you go half out of phase with the bridge, which is kind of nice. It gets really spanky when this guy gets involved at 180 degrees out of phase.
Interesting. Very cool. Oz Guitars, huh?
Yep.
And you've got modular pickups.
Yeah, you just plop them out, and we get all of about, what, 5 seconds?
Yeah.
Between songs, go between humbuckers and singles.
What's your name?
Oz.
Oz.
Anderson.
Makes sense. What are you asking on these?
1,700.
For what? What all do you get?
You get a hard anodized body with a Seymour Duncan pickups.
Okay, and if you want a different module, what do you pay?
That's another 320 to 520, depending on the style. Those are DiMarzio Utopias.
Okay.
And these are TV Jones classics, Filtrons. Seymour Duncan Jazz and JB. That's a baritone length with a G&L Z coil with a death bucker on the bottom.
Wow, super cool.
So we have 3 different scale lengths and a multitude of pickups as well.
And is that carbon fiber, real carbon fiber on the top?
It's real carbon fiber, and it's spruce is the backbone. So the pickups are adjusted and bolted to
This weighs almost nothing.
Yeah, well, with a lace. Now these puppies are...
That's a little bit more.
yeah, quite a bit.
Yep. Yeah. Wow.
There's 50 switches in there that change the personality.
Yeah, you got dip switches on everything, don't you? Wow.
And when you install it, it's automatic. You don't have to worry about what kind of pot value you got. Do I have a 500K or a 250K pot or a 25K pot? You just bolt it in and you don't worry about it. It's taken care of for you. These are 2 stereo jacks, by the way.
So you're wiring all these up custom order? Is that how you do it, or what do you do?
Normally, we know what the pickup normally likes to do as far as its functions go. So we hit the switches for what it's about. 2 pickups, 2 humbuckers, or a humbucker and a single, whatever it is. So when it goes in, the guitar knows what's going on.
Right. It just interfaces with these switches right here.
Right, and a jack panel in the back. There's a switch panel back here.
Yeah.
And then you can switch between neck going out of one and the bridge going out the other to another. 2 different sets of pedals.
Oh, you've got 2
jacks.
Oh, 2 jacks. Okay.
2 stereo jacks.
Is this like dip switchable too? Can you just make it regular with one?
Right. Well,
okay.
Normally that's what we do is everything's mono out the bottom.
Okay.
But some people are like, oh, why don't I do, I got enough pedals, I'll go, neck to one set of pedals and bridge to the other set of pedals.
Or even to another rig.
Exactly.
How hard is it to switch this?
Oh, you just pull the cover off and you go dip switches.
Okay.
So it's easy.
Interesting. So
you don't have to solder anything. Really.
What's your full name? Oz what?
Oz Anderson.
Oz Anderson. Nice to meet you. I'm Brad.
Nice to meet
Brad
you, Brad.
Lindsay. Yes, sir.
Are from Kelly Jones violins, right? Is that yours?
Yeah.
Is that where you from?
Yes.
You got a lot of good stuff. Why you call it violin shop when you got so many guitars?
The guitars overtook the violins. There are 300 violins at home.
Ah, okay. So what we've done here, I traded this that I managed to get yesterday for this Coronado down here. I'll show you guys later on that one. But I think we're both happy, right?
Happy.
Excellent.
Happy campers.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.
So there I was finally able to trade my Gibson Les Paul. Got to see a couple of really cool boutique dealers, and here is the owner of Low End Bass. This is the guy that I came in with.
Introduce yourself, man. Who are you?
Hey, I'm Brian Beer with the Low End Bass Shop, lowendbassshop.com.
Check out some of these basses that Brian builds, man. These things are fucking sick. Who does the building?
Yeah, so this is the Wilkins low end on this one, which this is a collaboration between Pat Wilkins and myself. Basically, it's Pat's neck and body, and then after that, I build everything else up from there. My pickups, my preamp, my placements, everything.
So you're designing all the electronics?
Correct, yeah. And then this is Pat's. Of course, Pat also has the Wilkins basses, which we reversed headstocks and flipped when we kind of did the collaboration thing. But yeah, so this is right-handed, left-handed. And of course, I started doing all of these kind of wild paint schemes and stuff like that with the paint all the way through.
Right.
You're seeing it more and more now. But yeah.
What kind of paint are you using? What is it?
Well, Pat shoots poly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you'll notice specifically ones where they're painted. If you actually look at the side, you'll actually notice it's left over here on this side where your strip is, for your dots.
Right, okay.
So you kind of have your landing strip.
Gotcha.
See, like over on this right there.
Uh-huh. Because this is the left-handed one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then this is the Pro over here. So the Pro's actually the latest. It and the Master P are the latest two editions, which are the new models in the low ends. The Crow still is actually a 33-inch scale. Still has the V-type neck similar to here, which is actually my patented proprietary neck. 2002, I patented that. It's actually stacked like a pyramid. It's a little different than how most traditionally built necks. This one's actually just painted, but it's actually designed the same way. In this I have a triple pickup setup in, as well as what I call the voice of the Crow, which has a 4-notch overdrive filter in it, as well as having the normal low-end preamp. And then I have a triple pickup setup where you can actually individually or run them all. You have full control of everything. And this is actually in a 33-inch scale with the shark inlays. And then this is the Master P, which is also brand new that I just introduced. It actually has a P that flips from series to parallel, still utilizing the low-end preamp with the 2 to 3 band. And this one's set up volume tone with your mid, 2-band, 3-band, stack treble bass, passive active. I can do the configurations just different ways depending on what the customer wants. And then this is, of course, one of my Jazzes here, which this is in the downsized body, as well as the P's actually in the new downsized body. And then this one, of course, has the V-type neck as well, but it's painted all the way through.
Very cool, man.
Thank you.
What's this one?
This is actually a 6-string and a 33-inch scale low end on this one. This has a quilt top, ash body, block inlays, maple board. But this is a 33, the other ones are 34, except for the Crow, which is also a 33. But yeah, and then of course I've got Olympics, some MTDs, pre-Gibson demise, ding walls, you're welcome to walk down and just gotta, you know, through, but yeah. A bunch of different, and of course in the shop I have, obviously,
So your shop is in Nashville, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually in Cane Ridge, which is right next to Brentwood.
Okay, look him up, Brian, at Low End.
Thank you.
Alright guys, so with my vintage amp in hand, it was finally time to hit the road with my buddy TJ and head toward Nashville. Before leaving Texas, we would stop at the gas station Mecca, otherwise known as Buc-ee's, where I got some souvenirs for the wife and kids and some brisket sandwiches to eat on the way. I cannot say enough good things about Buc-ee's. It's everything right with over-the-top consumerist Americana all in one place. They have a kick-ass mascot to boot. We ran into some heavy rain on the way back, which made me grateful I was not driving. Thanks, TJ. Being a passenger on such a long trip leaves the mind to wander and reflect on all the things I'd seen and all the new friends I'd gotten to hang with. I'm thankful to Brian at Low End Bass for getting me the dealer pass to get in. I'm thankful to all the other dealers and builders I met who took the time to talk with me and show me their wares. Also wanted to take just a minute to say a small prayer for Noel at New Sound Acoustics. He had just learned before coming to this show that he had gotten cancer, so I just wanted to say, Dear Heavenly Father, please be with Noel as he goes through this very trying time in his life. Please give him success in all that he does and in the beating of this cancer. In Jesus' holy name I pray. Amen. Alright guys, so we're back home, and this is what I brought home with me. So this is the 1961 Supro Coronado. It had a broken logo on it, and I've already replaced the logo. Actually, went ahead and aged the logo as well, because when you get these replacement logos, they're really white. And yeah, I went ahead and aged that with some amber lacquer, the same lacquer you would put on guitars. It came from StewMac. This handle is actually off of an old laptop bag right here, and it actually does a very nice job. I took the hardware brackets off and replaced those with the brackets that came with the laptop bag handle. It's like a vintage laptop bag handle, and that actually works out really nicely. This handle actually can lift this amp. The original handles on these were not really equipped to be able to lift an amp of this heft. They just weren't made for it. They're plastic. You know, they're fine with some of the smaller amps, but even on the smaller amps, they still break if you lift up on them too fast. So it's no surprise that this one's gone, because a lot of the times they are gone. Went ahead and cleaned it up some. Actually gave it a lot of cleaning, and it came out really, really nice and clean. I have not cleaned the faceplate or any of that yet, because I want to take the whole amp out. I want bottom and top amp. Take the whole thing basically apart, get the speakers out, and just clean it stem to stern. I've still got all that to do. We're going to do that in a video of its own. I have not done anything electronically to it, and it does need a service. You know, we've got the normal issues of like tubes that are, obviously we got a two-prong cord still. We've got tubes that are a little bit scratchy as well, so sockets need to be cleaned. The output tubes, okay, when I got this thing home, I noticed that one of the output tubes was in the rectifier slot, and the rectifier was in one of the output tube slot. So I don't know what was up with that. But I caught it before I tried. That's why I never try to fire anything up without looking at it first and trying to make sure everything's good to go before, you know, I at least plug one in and try to turn it on. I changed those around, and also noticed that one of the output tubes is the wrong type as well. One is a 6L6GB, and the other is a 6L6GC. So I'm probably going to replace those with a nice matched pair of 6L6GCs probably, or 5881s maybe. I'll see what I've got and what I can do with it. Now I'm just using the onboard camera mic for now. Later on we're going to do a real demo and give this thing a real test after we do the service. We'll do a whole video on this, but for now I just wanted to give you kind of an overview. Okay guys, so that will do it for this Dallas trip series. I really hope you've enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed making all these videos while I was there. Trips like this are a pretty expensive proposition to get these videos to you. I had to purchase a lot of new camera equipment, and also I had a computer go down, and that became an expensive proposition as well. I think I spent like over $2,000 to buy the stuff that, you know, produce these videos. You can join me over on Locals. That really helps out a lot. Also, there's a PayPal link down below if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. And for now, y'all take care.